Anagha and welcome to my YouTube. I haven't been painting lately. Before I used to paint. I did this about 2 to 3 years ago and I really enjoy painting, just the painting part of it. I'm not like a great artist or anything. I'm not even an artist, but I really enjoy painting and I like it that way. I don't pressurize myself to, make something extraordinary. So today what I thought, after 2 to 3 years of not really painting, I thought let me paint today because it's a Saturday and I want to just relax, unwind, and as I paint, what I'm going to do is I left a question sticker on my Instagram for y'all to ask me questions, and I told that I would make a video with respect to elaborate answers to these questions. So I've picked up 10 questions. So let me answer the questions and paint. So what am I going to paint today? I really love the word unstoppable. I want to do something very basic, with a little bit of different shades of colors in this canvas and unstoppable right in between it. It's more of a word that I want to hang in my office space than specifically an art or anything, since I've not painted for a while now. So let's see how this goes. I'm not even sure how the paint situation is, but let's give it a go. Let's begin with the first question, that is, how did you get the opportunity to act in the film? How was, the journey in the movie, and will you continue acting? So let's start with this question. First of all, how did I get a chance to act in this movie? I have spoken about that in my other video as well, where I announced the movie. But in short, I actually auditioned to a supporting role and then ended up bagging the lead role. It was unplanned. Movie was not ever in my plan of action, but it just happened. And my experience in the movie has been really great. It was very new to me. I've never been to a set before this one. So that was one thing. To share one interesting story would be, I had just by then finished my license, the two-wheeler license. I wasn't really very good at two-wheeler, and there was the main introduction scene where I had to ride a two-wheeler, and I thought I know how to ride, and so I thought I would be able to easily ride the two-wheeler. But then turns out the lead actor would sit behind me and I had to ride the vehicle while saying a few dialogues, while also making sure that there was a vehicle with the camera in front of us. We both had to make sure that we were in the same pace so that our vehicle would be in the middle of the frame. That was very challenging because it was very new to me. The scene was also one of the first few scenes that we shot. So it took us 4 to 5 hours to just get that, 1 minute clip, I guess. We went back and forth in the same lane. So that was very interesting. It was more like a practice of how to ride the vehicle for me. Oops, what did I do? This is a little tricky because I don't have a reference picture. Ew, and this paint is also quite bad. It's gone bad. We had pretty much become friends and family by the end of the shoot. Even during the shoot, we would eat together. We had a lot of scenes and days when we had to stay overnight, and we stayed together, and it was really fun because of course it was the first experience, and the first experience was made family and home. It didn't feel like oh my god, I don't know where am I and what am I going to do, how am I going to function with these kind of people situation. So that was really nice because of course your first time, if it feels comfortable, then that's the thing, right? The next question, which is related to this, is will you continue acting? I'm not sure yet, but one thing I'm definitely sure is I'm not going to do tacky projects at all, and random roles for sure. If I am in a project, then it need not be the lead role, but it definitely has to be a very meaty role. It has to be a role with a lot of value to the story. I'm a marketer, so I think storytelling is, it's something like a passion. So if somebody is coming to watch a movie and I'm a part of that project, then that role has to add a lot of value to the story itself. So if I do get such roles, then I would probably consider doing those roles. Maybe that is the whole idea. It has to be a good story, it has to be a good project and all of that. And nonetheless, I'm not actively pursuing the career in acting. So I haven't given any more auditions. I haven't approached anybody for a project. So with all of that in mind, I don't think I will probably get anything. But if I do get, yes, I will consider that as a goal. Yes, so that's pretty much it about my plans with respect to move. The next question that I have is, how do you get motivated each day to work? So what I believe is motivation is extremely overrated. You will not get motivated most of the time. So I don't depend on motivation at all. What I do is I have a solid routine and schedule that I follow. So what I do is I have a morning routine. You should be checking out my morning routine videos. I've done a couple of them. Obviously, it's not like completely fixed, but I do have similar morning routine that I follow. I have a specific time that I want to get to work. So every day by 9:30 to 10, I start working. I'm glad that I have a flexible, routine that I can follow because it's my own business, and I do follow like flexibility in the business. Like I decide how much work I have, with whom to work and everything. But overall, the beginning is planned, and after that, based on how much work I have, I decide when I can sign out of the work. So sometimes I end up signing out at 3 p.m. Sometimes I end up signing out at 7 p.m. as well. And I strongly suggest you as well to really focus on like setting up a routine in your life for anything and everything. Like if you want to work out as well, if you have a fixed routine that this is the time that I will get to work no matter what, then you will be able to make time around it. If you say that, oh, I'll wait for motivation to come to me and then I will work out, that barely will happen. That will probably happen 4 times a month. That's not enough, right? To stick to something, to stay consistent. Another thing is, I don't know what I'm making. I'm just going on painting, but I'm not sure what this will become. Next question that I have is, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? It feels like an interview question, right? Like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where you have to tell that I see myself leading in the company, blah, blah, blah. No, very honestly, I don't know where I see myself in the next 5 years, because when I look back, I didn't see myself here 5 years ago. I saw myself doing a job. I saw myself being an event planner or a wedding planner that I was 5 years ago. But that didn't work out. Things didn't work out for me, and I did not work towards that. And somehow, yes, it didn't happen, right? So I don't genuinely know where I see myself in the next 5 years. However, couple of things that I know is I will definitely be working towards my growth, because that has been adding value to my life, and I see myself extremely committed to my goals even then. Like whatever goal I have at that point of my time, I see myself extremely committed to my goals. I see myself traveling a lot more than now, because I intend to travel, but somehow things don't work out for me. Our travel plans are just getting postponed back to back. So I think 5 years is a really long time. So definitely I see myself traveling very, very often compared to now. And yes, I see myself catering to a senior dog, because Alu by then will be about 8. So I think I'm guessing that she will be thriving, and I'm hoping that she will be healthy, because even to this date, I take care of her health. I see that in my life. And definitely, okay, work-wise, I see a lot of growth in my business right now. And what I see is me working not so hard, I would say, but say for example, about 4-5 hours a day, and that's it. I see myself doing that in the next 5 years. That's all I know. I don't have a bigger long-term vision, because I did get questions about, oh, what's your long-term goal? But I don't know what's my long-term goal. Okay, the next question that I have is, what kind of relationship do you share with your sibling? Okay, so siblings, I have one sister of my own who is 4 years younger than me, and the main thing that I have with her is like an unbreakable bond. I think most siblings do feel that, but I don't think it's for everybody. We're never asking each other, hey, did you have your lunch? Hey, how was your day? Or no, we do ask that. We don't say, good morning, good night, or we're sometimes we've not spoken to each other for 20 days. However, when we obviously talk, it's like we just spoke yesterday. And another thing that I want to add is we have a cousin who's my mom's sister's daughter, Aditya. Though she's a cousin, she's also pretty much like our own sister. We both treat her like that. She treats us like that. So I would definitely think that, I'm answering the question of siblings and not just sibling, because I believe that I have two sisters of my own. Yes, the bond we share is like that. We talk about everything under the sun. We talk about everybody in each of our lives. We update each other about our friends' lives. We take each other for granted so many times. It could sound toxic, but it's not. It's just that we know that we're there for each other no matter what. Yes, that's pretty much how my relationship with my siblings is. Oh, by the way, my cousin, who's my sister Aditya, she is an artist. She's properly an artist. I'm pretty sure that she will not approve of something like this, but love you, Aditya. The next question that I have is, how long did it take since you started freelancing to see the growth in your business? Like basically everything revolving around the starting of my freelancing career. So I started off just before COVID. I started off in the month of December 2019. Back then I was just writing content, blogs for other blogs. So I was writing articles for them. And when I started off, this was the 7th thing that I was actually trying in my life. I had done 6 jobs and I was extremely frustrated. I was pretty much depressed in my life. This is a career-oriented girl without a career. I was that. And I was extremely disappointed in myself, upset, and worried about my future. So at that point, I stumbled upon this thing called content writing, online business, and like freelancing. And it felt like the light in the end of the tunnel. And there was no looking back to me, because I had tried 6 other things in my life and it did not work out. And when this felt very good in the beginning, I felt like this is it. If this does not work out, nothing else in my life will work. And that's the kind of approach I think I had at that time. I don't exactly remember, but that's how I started this career, and in the feeling of nothing else can save me, only this can save me. Because I absolutely loved it and I saw the potential to grow in this industry. And that's when I realized that, okay, like I have to give this my all. I didn't have another plan. I didn't have a plan B, or probably this was my plan EFG, I don't know, because I tried all the other plans that I had in my life. I really wanted to be a wedding planner. I worked as one. I did enjoy for a few months, but then I realized this is not something I can do in the long run. I was a civil engineering graduate, so I tried being a civil engineer, and that as well, I hit it. I acted in Ramayana, but it took us a while to actually release it, and I didn't see myself as completely pursuing the acting career. I think I always knew it would be my side hustle or a side passion project, because I love acting and I do not really enjoy everything else that comes with the industry. Pretty much like the celebrity life, I don't want. If I were to want to be successful in the industry, acting industry, then of course I had to be all of that and I had to live all of that as well. So I kind of rejected that idea long back. After trying everything in your life, when you're like, this is the final hope that I have, you will give it your all. And I did give my all. I pushed myself very hard. When I didn't know about marketing, I didn't know anything about marketing, I learned marketing from scratch without even going to college, without even getting a degree. I learned marketing to a level where I can very, very proudly and bravely say today that I know marketing. So that's because I had nothing else in my life left with respect to career. So yes, that's how I started and I gave it my all. Basically, how much time did it take for me to actually see some income coming in, see some growth coming in? About 3 to 4 months. So I started in December 2019 with like a few blogs, and in January I got like a couple more projects, and about March, April, when COVID actually hit and everybody started looking towards the online world, that's when I also felt like, okay, cool, I'll consider this more seriously now. And I also learned a lot during that 3 to 4 months. And I would say roughly by, I think, April, May is when I got my first ever big project of social media management at that time. That is how much time it took for me to see the growth, like actually begin something to start like working and something to actually bring in like bigger chunk of money, I would say. And that new joy of, oh my god, I got my first ever international client, first ever in USD payment and everything. So yes, it took me about 4, 5, 6 months for that to happen. Along with this, I also got a question that says, how long did it take for your Instagram to grow rapidly? It's a crazy tricky question because I've helped different people with different levels of Instagram followers. For me, it was a very linear growth. Consistently I was reaching more audience and consistently gaining about 100 to 250 followers every single month, and a few like additional sometimes when one of my reels performed really well. I had about 3.7k followers in the month of October 2022. In October 2022, one of my reels started taking off crazily, so to a level where it hit some 4.5 million views, and that's when my account went from 3.7k to 25k followers in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, my reel went that viral, and that's how I gained like a crazy amount of followers during that period, 25k followers. I did get a lot of clients and leads through that viral reel and new like people following me. However, I ended up gaining a lot of people as followers who are not really my target audience or ideal clients. And hence when I see 25k followers, I did not see like my business suddenly growing that way. It was just the number of followers that grew. Because I say this because a lot of people do not understand that followers is not equal to business, right? So like my business grew just about a few percentage and not to that level how my Instagram account grew. So that's something to keep in mind. So the next question that I have is, how do you effectively balance both business and personal life? I think this is not like a Brahma Vidya or something. A lot of people do manage their business and personal life well. All I have is a schedule and a routine that I really follow and swear by. Just like how my husband goes to work at around 8:30 in the morning, I get to work around 9:30, 10 in the morning. How everybody has a schedule around their work, I also have. I work from morning till evening, and my dog sleeps during that time, so there's no problem with respect to how I manage my dog. Until 9:30 in the morning, I have all the time to play with my dog a little bit, cook. I spend some time with my husband talking about the day itself. Yes, and then I get to work. I make sure that I sign out of work by say 6:30 in the evening, because that's around the time when my dog wakes up from her morning sleep. So from 6 to around 8, I spend time with my dog, mostly with a little bit of breaks in between to scroll on my phone. So I get a little bit of scrolling time, I get a little bit of time to play with my dog. And by then my husband's home and we're discussing dinner. He really enjoys cooking, so he cooks the dinner, or we cook together depending on how the day is, or we go out, or we order in. So dinner is a little bit like that, as to we decide on the go. That's how I manage my business and personal life. Just trying to understand what time of the day, what is the priority and what needs to be done. If there's a personal commitment, I check if it's important enough to take it off from work, or if I can move it around, or if I can cancel it altogether. So if it's a family function, which my presence is not really that necessary, then I say I have work and I don't wish to come. I draw boundaries. And yes, I am talking about boundaries in another video. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions regarding boundaries and how to draw boundaries, because let me tell you, I have been a person who barely had any boundaries, but now I have really healthy boundaries with all the relationships in my life and work. Getting back to the topic, yes, drawing boundaries and making sure that I prioritize my work over that family function. But say for example, if my mom or my mother-in-law or anybody from my family, my sister's home, and it's a weekday and they want us to go out or like have lunch, I try and like move my work around and make time for my personal life. So just understanding what's the priority at the moment and just making sure that's catered. That's how I manage my work and personal life. How did you get into coaching coaches? By working with coaches, I have worked with 40 plus coaches. I have been the social media marketer, and all the coaches that I've worked with are from very different levels of business. Some of them had just begun their business. Some of their businesses were at 40-50K USD, and a lot of them in between that. So I've worked as a social media marketer in the team for the last 3.5 years. I've been coaching coaches only in the last about 1 year. So after 2 years of experience, putting together everything and signing up with a coach myself and understanding how I can tie some loose ends together, that's how I started coaching coaches, because I have worked with them in their team. I've seen their business up close. I've understood what do they do before and after marketing, and I obviously take care of marketing myself. So putting everything together, I now help coaches to run their coaching business. That's how I became a coach to coaches. So I have this very interesting question. How did you have the courage to enter this journey? Don't you have any other commitments or family debts? So first of all, as I said, the courage came in because of me seeing this as the last savior of my life and career. That's how the courage came in. People ask me, how do you talk on, Instagram stories? How did you get the courage? Because I had no choice. If I had to make this work, I learned that I had to show up on stories. I had to show my face. I had to make videos on reels. And that's how it would make me easier to get clients and be recognized as a personal brand. And I did not have any other plans in life, and I had to make this work. That's how the courage comes in. The other part where don't you have any other commitments or family debts or like responsibilities, this is where the privilege comes in, and I really, really accept and acknowledge the privilege that I have. So before even entering this journey, I worked for about 2 years and had some savings through which I had an education loan that I had to clear. So I paid a part of my education loan, and my father paid the rest of it. So yes, I'm accepting the privilege that I have. So I did save like a huge chunk of money to pay off my education loan, but my dad decided to step in and told me that he would pay the rest and I would only pay a part of it. So all the rest of the money became my savings. So when I finally decided to quit my job and give this freelancing a chance, and it took me about, like I said, 3 to 6 months to actually make good money. The first couple of months I was making like 5,000 rupees and so, barely adding to the living cost and everything. I accept the privilege that I have. I had the savings. By then I was married, so I had my husband to depend on. He was very supportive of my career shift, and he was there financially, emotionally to support me. A lot of people do not understand, accept the privilege that they have, and a lot of people don't understand that they don't have that privilege. They look at other successful people and feel like, I don't have this in my life. But really, a lot of people become successful because they had some kind of privilege in their life. I'm not telling all the successful people have the privilege, but I did not have certain privileges. My parents weren't very supportive of my career shifts, and they were keen on me getting a good IT job or a government job, and they pestered me for about a year to stop doing freelancing. I did not have that privilege of emotional support. I had to fight them through my career, but I had the financial support. I had a period where I made enough savings and I did not have a family debt to pay off, right? So all of these things are something that people don't sometimes accept and acknowledge, but I do. With this video, I would like to say that if you do not have these privileges, don't beat yourself too much, and don't look at things that happen on social media and just be unhappy about your life. There could be more things in others people's lives as well that you do not know, that they don't share on social media. The next question is, when did you think it's time to hire a team? So actually, I had hired one team member about 2 years ago, like 1 year into the business, I had hired someone. The first time that I decided to hire was when I had a lot of clients. I had about 7 retaining clients and a lot of work. I was burnt out. I was working every single day of the week. There was nothing else that I could possibly do. That's when I realized that, oh damn, it's time to hire someone or let go of some clients. So obviously I chose to hire a team so that I could grow and scale. After working with her for a year, I realized that I was not doing well emotionally and I wanted to take a little bit of a break from my business. and so I had to let her go at that time. I did not take a complete break from my business. It was just functioning from a very small scale. After I let her go, it took me about 3 to 4 months of functioning extremely small scale, and then I bounced back into business completely. And the next 6-7 months of working alone, the next time I decided, which was in December, is when I decided I'll finally hire a team again. That's when I did not have a lot of work as such. I mean, I could manage alone, but I knew that this was the time that I could hire. I had a lot of leads. I did not have a lot of clients yet. Before converting those leads into clients, I wanted a teammate ready, trained, so that when the leads come in and the clients come in, my teammates are ready to take over work. And this time around, I made that decision. I had savings of money instead of clients who were paying me every month. I had enough savings that I could put back into business, train my teammate, work together, and then I had that decent 3 months gap that even if I did not have a client to pass on to my teammates to work, I could cover their training and their salaries. So that's how much money I had saved so that I could take this decision of hiring even before I had a lot of influx of clients. That's how I decided to hire a team. I think it's all about mindset, where we know that, okay, I'm ready for the next big thing in my business. I have enough money, or I have enough leads, or I have enough clients, or one of those at least. So with that, I think I will end the Q&A because this is pretty much a longer video already. The painting is done. So what I've done is I've made fiery kind of background. So it's orange, fire orange, which is also one of my brand colors. I will wait for this to dry out, and later in the day or maybe tomorrow, I will paint Unstoppable over here and show it to you before I upload this video. Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because very, very, very interesting videos are coming up next. Before you leave, I would say watch this video as well because I'm sure you will be entertained by this one. Like this video and share it with your friends and family. Thank you so much. Bye bye. I'm invincible. I win every single game.